Dark. We are a channel honoring the yellow and blackened bones of many prominent authors. We will be digging up several obscure, strange, and forgotten authors who influenced many of the great horror, science fiction, and fantasy writers today. Comment if you have an author you'd like to raise from the dead. Crank up the chainsaw and shred the like button to pieces if a tale rips out your beating heart. Hideous beast, join our legion of ghouls and subscribe for more tales of the horrifying, obscure, strange, and forgotten. Our collection continues to climb out of the tombs. Merchandise and swag coming soon. Unknown horror masters, send us ghoulish delights for the Skull and Bones collection. Your pound of writer's flesh will be fed to our ravenous crypt of fans. Walk our fiery path and find us on here, our websites, podcast, and Fiverr to raise 7 kinds of hell. Check out our new books on Amazon, podcast, and websites, YouTube, Rumble, Apple, Anchor FM, Spotify, and many more. Dweller of the Dark, a new Kindle Vella story, Curse of the Seawitch, has been released. Check out our other links and series, Where the Wolf Dwells, The Curious Death of Dionysus Chenault. Our books and ebooks are on Kindle, Amazon, and Vella. Follow, support us on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Bandcamp. Dweller of the Dark, Children of Horror. Tonight, we travel to ghostly Grand Isle for a series of 3 Kindle Vella episodes from our latest horrific tale. For the first time ever, we bring you Curse of the Seawitch. Enjoy. Curse of the Seawitch by Jeffrey LeBlanc. First published in Kindle Vella, March 16th, 2022. Episode 3, On Strange Tides. Waking groggily from the previous day's misadventures on seas that many would swear had a strange ebb and flow, Hawkeye and his faithful minion sailed at dawn for a long voyage. Their final destination was to be the South Pacific Seas. Their voyage for spices and ore would bring them as far east as Timor-Leste, a sail that would no doubt have them passing treacherously a few miles from Komodo. On the voyage, they would stop briefly in Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Ambon for supplies and fuel. On that same fog-filled morning, when heaven itself seemed ready to cry tears of icy rain, Maddie Batto went back to her cold hut to work. She'd continue to prepare and ply her wares for seafood and driftwood collecting. How, with Millie's cold body put to ground just 2 days before, had Maddie aged? She seemed lean and fragile. You could call it emaciation, but that wasn't quite accurate. Her appearance was more a picture of the ghastly reaper ready to bring home the dead. Yes, that description would be the correct one. With a warm shawl covering her head, a twisting, Sith-like knob of a walking stick, and Maddie's flapping black funeral attire, the image of death's harbinger was complete. On we watched the leaner and grimmer woman slowly hobble home, ever her gaze fixed in rage at the sea, ever her eyes sought with vengeance while watching Hawkeye and Blisters sail away, ever her eyes flamed red as smoldered coals with a light not of the sane. Days, weeks, and months glided by, and people whispered among themselves that Maddie's days were slowly numbered. Fading fast, the phantom of a once poor but prideful woman of the sea, refusing care, refusing conversation, refusing love and companionship, refusing charitable aid from any of us. Maddie Batto cryptically hobbled along the winding beach trails in her secretive ways, did her task, and proceeded onward. We, however, continued on knowing her inevitable death was drawing near. The summer blazed brightly on the seascape, the fiery sky red every morn with ominous and, dare say, treacherous abode. Tourists came and tourists went. Sport and commercial fishermen lingered longer through the blaze and haze of Grand Isle's shortest summer. Cold winds, Arctic winds, began blasting in as early as mid-August. Then, by September, unusual ice storms pelted the beaches and assaulted the camps with unceasing fury. Forecasted weather reports posted down at Bon Voyage Marina even shockingly had Grand Isle receiving half a foot of snow within the next week. As I stated, it was a short summer, a summer that left all longing for better days. It was a violent summer, and it most assuredly foreshadowed a very brutal winter for the islanders. The snows arrived, again to everyone's surprise. The bleak expanse of barren marshlands frozen to depths never seen before. Boats were trapped in docks, unable to oyster, to fish, or to shrimp. Even during that winter's warmest day, the ice and frost never melted. An event very unusual, very unnatural, which caused much unease and much concern, and a deluge of comments among the townsfolk at civic meetings. Superstitions abounded, and talk of the seawitch's curse oozed up in many a whisper. But from early dawn to the onset of dusk, life for Maddie Batto remained unfazed. She would hobble and, dare I say, possibly hover up on the beach. Her eyes still smoldered with hate and vengeance, with a steel-cold stare on the farthest horizon of the sea. She'd turn her gaze briefly out at the frosted marshes and the drifts of snow which glittered on the beaches and estuaries. Then those furnace ice-blue eyes returned to the sea with the fiercest intensity in her gaze. The days during that time on Grand Isle grew frigid and chilled, while their duration of warming light grew ever shorter. Everyone on the island huddled everywhere, trying to find the best places to stay warm. Every drop in degree bringing more anxiety to all in Grand Isle. We had to find ways to beat the howling snow winds. Oh, those deathly, icy nights became quite perilous. Nights longer and nights evilly darker, and the cold gray tides came sweeping along the bleak, desolate strands, bearing the rain, the frosted mist, sleet, and killing snows of the sharp, northern fronts. Thank you for listening.
Have a great night.